Hey Kurt,
Hello, Seth.
we're here on Wednesday for another update.
Well, another attempt at another update since we already recorded this once, and that huge line of storms came through and did some crazy things to lights and power and all of that. And I wish they could have seen your face, Seth, when it came through, and mine as well. But unfortunately, they're not going to see that. They're going to see this new version of Wednesday update.
Yes, we're creating now an outtakes and blooper reel for down the road. So
We should, although it'll be hard to tell because, as I mentioned last time around in the blooper reel, I always wear a blue shirt and you always wear a red shirt. Actually, a kind of a teal color today, but so it looks every week we look kind of the same. I think so.
yeah,
It's hard to tell. You have to actually listen to the update to know whether it's a new week,
yeah.
and this is a new week.
And we're going to give a few updates about some things that are happening in the community. This, I think we were going to start talking about the Children's Disaster Services kits.
Right. So
So
we're going to start assembling those, and you have that underway. You want to talk a little bit about that?
yeah, we have people that are signing up right now. 20 different households will be getting to assemble kits during June 15th through June 18th. So that's next week, Monday through Thursday. And we've started with young families first to sign up, and then right now opening it up to youth families. And if we have any more openings, then we'll open that up a little bit wider.
And we'll have it set up so that there are 20 tables in the Family Life Center, and each family will go to a specific table, and they'll be in hour slots, so it won't take very long to assemble 10 kits, and there'll be enough time so that nobody feels rushed in between each group that comes in.
That's right. Yeah.
And the sign up sheet is a live sheet. So if you get the email, young families, youth, and then maybe others in the congregation, you just click on that link and sign up on the sheet, and you can see who else has signed up.
Yeah. 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 It's pretty snazzy how Kayla set that up. And so, yeah,
It's
yeah.
easy to
Yeah. And then the second thing is that we have two places where you can get educational opportunities that Witness Commission has been putting out. So there's two places to find that. One is the newsletter, so you possibly have already seen it there, and then a Facebook event page for each week in June. So now there is a link that is on our Manchester group page on Facebook, and you can see all the same information there. And it's sort of handy there because all the links that we have are all live there uh, on the on that event page, so you can just click and it'll take you right to the link as opposed to typing them in from the newsletter. So just
right.
an extra step there, but it's the same information for you to engage in. And then we're having some prompts every week for you to send your pictures in of how you're engaging with these different educational opportunities, and then we'll compile those all together as well as photos and videos of the different people assembling the kits. So yeah, just ask that everyone who wants to participates at these different ways around this project.
And then as people send in their photos and their little video clips or whatever, you're gonna put all those together at the end, and we'll have some sort of presentation, maybe in a worship setting or
Right.
somehow where we'll celebrate that
That's right.
that project.
Right. So not just the kit assembly, but also the way that we, engaged with the project as a whole. Yeah. And then the other thing around that project, we were going to show people the button that we have for giving to this special offering through the month of June.
Yep, let's do that.
Okay.
So if you go to the website, that's what it looks like on the front page. Up in that upper right corner is donate, and you click that button, donate, and it'll take you to our online giving page or donation page.
Yep.
And there it says online giving. You click on that, and that takes you away from our website, but to the service provider for our online giving platform. There's now two buttons. One is the general offering button. That's there all the time. The other is the special offering button, and it says fund ending July 3rd, 2020. So you have about a month to, we've had, on that for about a month to participate in that. If you click on that, so that's going to do that giving now. It shows recurring or one time. So right now it's set at recurring. Click it to one time, and now it'll put the date in there. You put your gift amount in, and then it will prompt you to enter either your checking account information for an ACH transfer, or it will allow you to, if you want to do it with a credit card. And of course, as I've been saying, ACH is better for us. So a transfer from your checking account from your bank is better because the fees are less for the church. And the general offering one, why don't we just click on that for a moment, and you'll see, there it's again recurring one time. I use the recurring. I've set it up for myself for recurring, and I give weekly, but you could do bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, and so forth, and put in my amount. And now what happens is every week I get an email that says this is about to happen, and then when the transfer happens, it sends me another email telling me that it's happened. So I just wanted to highlight that as well in regard to offering, just to show how easy it is if you'd like to use the online giving option. So
Yeah.
it's really special offerings as well, because we can put those up and take those down, and change them as we go along for quarterly offerings, or there's a special youth offering or something like that. So really, really helpful thing.
So updates from the Witness Commission as well for this week.
Yeah, Seth and I have been talking about what's happening in our country, and all of the reaction and response to racism and anti-racism protests and such, and thinking about our local community and us as individuals, and we want to engage the Witness Commission. We're going to have a meeting tonight to do a little bit of thinking and talking about resources and opportunities that we can share with the congregation. So we're going to have that meeting tonight and push out some of those pieces of information for the congregation. You may have seen a few things already on the Facebook group page about protests in Wabash and here in North Manchester. And we just got an email a little while ago from Kathy Freimiller saying that there's another upcoming Silent No More anti-racism event in North Manchester on Sunday, June 14th, starting at 4 o'clock. And that will be at the firehouse. There'll be a walk from the police station to the firehouse and back. I think that's, I'm not entirely sure about the details as I read it, but we'll get that information out as well if you're interested in participating in that. But we want to put out information about local opportunities, maybe educational resources or places that the denomination's providing information, those kinds of things. So we'll be working on that. We are working on that, but we'll have more information about that.
Yeah. And then an update about at Timbercrest, right?
Yeah, we got a message from Timbercrest, and we put it in the newsletter this week about Timbercrest needing persons to work on a temporary basis to help with meal delivery and individual feeding assistance, primarily on weekends. They have to employ people to do that. They can't have volunteers come in because of regulations around COVID-19 and precautions and such. So you would have to apply for a temporary job, but really what they're looking for is people with a volunteer spirit. I mean, you would get paid, but they're looking for people who are willing to help out in that way. And then I got a message, in addition to the meal delivery and such indoors, Timbercrest is going to start an outdoor visiting program where residents of the manor and healthcare can visit with family members outdoors, 6 feet at distance with masks and so forth, but face to face. And they need, again, to employ some people to help monitor those visits and help to kind of move things through when they do those. That's coming up soon, that they want to get that program started. People are really eager and anxious to see their families. So again, if you're interested in doing that, I think you can apply through the Crest website, through their job application. But like I said before, it really is the spirit of volunteering and ministry that's behind this to help people in this time. So just wanted to highlight those couple of things from Crest.
Yeah. And as we know, as we do every week, we look ahead here to worship on Sunday and talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing with the scripture. Yeah.
Right. The scripture text for Sunday is from Matthew chapter 9, verse 35 through chapter 10, verse 23. So it's a long text. And we've divided it up into 3 portions. And between each portion, we're going to have a verse of the song that Seth is going to introduce in a moment. And we'll kind of do it with the scripture as sort of a call and response. It'll be scripture, song, scripture, song, scripture, song, and kind of help to move us through that. And the end of each verse has these words, carry it on. And I think as you hear the song, and then for the closing thought, I'm going to read something about the worship service, you'll kind of get a sense of the wholeness of that. So Seth, why don't you share a verse of that song with us?
Yeah. There's a friend by my side walking. There's a voice inside me talking. There's a word that needs a saying. Carry it on, carry it on, carry it on, carry it on.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And those last words, carry it on, carry it on. When you offered that song, Seth, as we were talking about music for this coming Sunday, it really resonated for me. I usually write a paragraph for each Sunday with kind of a theme statement, and I want to, as the closing thought, I want to read that, and you'll see how that refrain of "carry it on" fits with that. This is my theme paragraph for this coming Sunday. Jesus has compassion for the crowds he encounters. There are so many in need. He sends out his disciples to spread his ministry of healing even further. He gives them very explicit instructions. This ministry isn't a commodity, it's a relationship, which means it won't fit the categories people are used to. And not only that, but because it is a ministry of radical compassion, it will draw opposition. Be warned, he tells his disciples, but keep going. And I think that we have this call to keep going with this ministry of radical compassion that does not fit the categories that people are used to. And we're in a time where categories need to be pulled apart, and something new needs to be born into its place. And so hopefully what we do on Sunday will hold that kind of spirit for people.
Yeah. A timely one for us, I think. Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. Thanks, Kurt.
Okay, thank you.
All
See
right.
you, everyone.